morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Wednesday, October 7th, 2015. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. Well, the 1 in 1,000 year rainstorm that inundated South Carolina is still causing havoc. Along the South Carolina coast, residents are preparing for a second round of flooding as rivers swollen from days of devastating rain make their way toward the Atlantic. In the Columbia, South Carolina area, the capital of the state, some have started to return home to assess damage. About 1,000 residents near the compromised Beaver Dam, which began to crack yesterday, were told to evacuate this morning. In coastal Georgetown, one of America's oldest cities, the Sanpete River has exceeded its normal crest level for flooding. Also, the Black and Waccamaw rivers, both cited by the South Carolina government as in danger of overflowing, are expected to crest later today. The Waccamaw is going to crest at about 5 feet above flood stage, and meanwhile the Black River is crested last night at about 10 feet above flood stage, breaking records. The death toll now has been 15 in South Carolina and 2 in North Carolina. Safe drinking water is a challenge in the region around Columbia. As many as 40,000 homes lack drinking water, although some service was restored last night, although they're still being warned to boil their water. The power grid is returning to normal after 30,000 customers lost electricity. And meanwhile, there are hundreds, literally hundreds of rescues of both residents and farm animals occurring throughout the entire state. The loss for the Faro container ship, the 790-foot ship that apparently has been confirmed as having sunk en route from Jacksonville to San Juan, is going to be a $31 million insured hull loss. It seems as if Allianz, XL Catlin, RSA, and QBE are among the marine insurers facing the loss. The logistics company Saltchuk had a $24 million hull and machinery policy for the cargo vessel, which it operated through its subsidiary, which was Tote Services. Tote Services is the company that's been quoted as having been the owner of the ship. The cover was brokered by Aon and has a $5 million excess, which is thought to be retained by Saltchuk's captive insurer. Also, in just off the coast of Belgium this morning, a Dutch cargo ship sank after colliding with a gas tanker. 11 people were rescued from the Dutch cargo ship. The accident happened just off the port of Zeebrugge, which is a very congested area, just about in the middle of the two very busy ports of Rotterdam and Antwerp. Some 20 ships involved in a rescue operation were there. The vessel that sank was the Flinter Star. It was carrying 3,000 tons of steel and about 140 tons of crane parts. It's now laying about 400 feet underwater. Swiss Re is apparently at risk of losing over $1 billion of in-force Chinese premium over the next 3 years as China's new solvency regime is about to take place. Munich Re is also going to apparently lose several $100 million of reinsurance premium, as is Hanover. This is all because of a solvency plan called the China Risk-Oriented Solvency System, or CROS, which is designed to strengthen Chinese primary insurers. Currently, what happens is that Chinese primary insurers are able to obtain solvency relief by purchasing reinsurance. Over the years, CROS has begun to ramp up its requirements, forcing Chinese insurers to become more solvent on their own. By next year, or at the end of this 3-year period, CROS will have deemed the Chinese insurers to be solvency adequate, and thus it will not need to buy as much reinsurance as they do now. This is overall a good thing. However, of course, it's going to reduce the top line insofar as reinsurance premiums go. Swiss Re commented that this is actually not that much of a problem because the underwriting margin on this business is apparently very low. Anheuser-Busch InBev has made a third offer to SAB Miller. It seems that the reinsurance industry and the insurance industry is not the only industry that's subject to acquisition. Anheuser-Busch had made an offer of $100 billion US to purchase Miller. It was rejected. despite the fact that the biggest shareholder in Miller, which is Altria, which is also part of a large tobacco conglomerate, advised that the company take the bid. The merger would create a beverage empire controlling the number 1 or number 2 positions in 24 of the world's largest beer markets. So this is something that's going on everywhere. Meanwhile, in Poland, in Gdansk, a Chinese Navy squadron has appeared. A Chinese destroyer, a Chinese frigate, and a Chinese supply vessel sailed into the Polish Navy port there. It's the first such visit ever. A Chinese embassy spokesman said that Poland is the vessel's 6th stop on a worldwide visit. They apparently responded to an invitation from the Polish Navy. A soccer match and a rowing race will be held between Polish and Chinese seamen, and the ships will be visited by the public on Saturday. Poland, of course, is now a NATO member. The Chinese ships have also docked in the Sudan, Egypt, Denmark, Finland, and Sweden. No word on whether they're coming to the United States. Probably not. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.